Welcome to Dorking Out. My name is Sonia Mansfield. Look at my face. I would never think that about you. Joining me is my podcasting sister from another mister and the co-host of Dorking Out, Margo D. Hello, my friend.
I see floofy people.
I see floofy cats.
I see the floofy cat people.
You thought for sure I was going to say I see dead people.
I did. I was going to say, Sonia, I'm eating some soup right now. It doesn't taste very good. Should I keep going?
I don't like it when you say that. It hurts my feelings. We are dorking out about 1999's The Sixth Sense. It is written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan, and it stars Bruce Willis, Haley Joel Osment, Toni Collette, Olivia Williams, Donnie Wahlberg, unrecognizable.
And good.
Yeah, he's really good in that. It's a small part. I remember seeing his name in the credits, and I was like, oh my
Who
God.
the fuck was he?
And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's in this. And then forgot. And then when the movie was over, I was like, where was Donnie Wahlberg in that? Like, I totally didn't remember. I didn't put it together that was him because he lost like so much weight. Anyway, we're going to be talking spoilers about The Sixth Sense. So if you haven't seen a movie that came out 23 years ago and somehow the twist hasn't been ruined for you, I don't know how that would happen. But if it hasn't been ruined for you, please stop the podcast right now and go watch The Sixth Sense because it's very, very good. And then you can come back and listen because you can't talk about this movie and not talk about the twist. So consider yourself warned. Margo, did you see this in the theater?
Yes, I did see it in the theater.
Me too. And I actually saw it a couple weeks after it had been out, and somehow the twist had not been ruined for me.
Same thing.
I'm very proud of this country back then. I was like, good job not spoiling it for everybody, although Twitter wasn't a thing back then.
Back when people were good.
They weren't. They were trash then too. We just didn't have social media.
Exactly. It wouldn't even last 10 minutes now.
For sure. Like the press would ruin it. Like it would, yeah.
Someone would be in the review.
Yeah, probably.
In a Twitter review, yeah.
Yeah. So I was very impressed when I saw it, and it hadn't been ruined for me.
Bruce Willis does a great job playing a dead guy. Oops, sorry.
Oops. People are the worst.
They are.
People can't wait to go on social media and spoil things for people.
Yeah.
I don't understand it, but look, I'm going to talk about a movie I don't even like later with what we're dorking out about. And I tried to make sure when I was on social, when I was talking about the movie, I didn't spoil it. And I was like, and I think this movie's garbage. I don't like it, but I don't want to ruin it for other people. Like, who are these people that like to ruin shit for people? Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway. When you saw it in the theater and the twist wasn't ruined for you, were you super surprised by the ending? Were you like, what the fuck?
Yes. I was in my 20s.
Yeah. I
was with a couple of good friends, wasn't drinking or anything. So we packed theater. I'm not sure. It was in Manhattan. And I mean, I'd seen a bunch of movies in my time. I'd seen a bunch of mysteries and ghost stories, but it was really well set up. It's brilliantly set up. People, after something is shown, they love to be like, oh, I saw that 10 miles away.
Totally. By the way, my dad is one of those people. He's like, I totally called it in like the first 5 minutes. I was like, shut up, liar.
Shut the fuck up. Even if it's true, fuck off.
I'm super smart.
I could burp. Shut up. Yeah, fiction is just too dumb for you, whatever. It's whatever. I was surprised by it, yes.
I was so surprised. And I think I knew there was a twist. I just didn't know what the twist was. Still didn't guess what the twist was. Like, this movie blew my mind, and I saw it in the theater, and I don't know if anyone around me knew it because everyone was like,
yeah, same.
Like, it was one of those, like, there's not a lot of moments like that in the theater where everybody was like, oh shit. Like it was that kind of moment for me. My sister and I saw it together and we were both like, oh, like that just doesn't happen that often. It's this movie. So I saw it in the theater. Twist blew me away. Probably I didn't see it again in the theater. I rented it and I basically was looking. I was like, where are the cheats? Like the movie probably really cheated to get that ending. I never found any. I rewatched it again for this episode, obviously, and I don't think this movie cheats. I think it comes by the twist rightly.
Yes.
I think it still works. I mean, maybe there's a bunch of YouTube videos from people explaining all the shit it did wrong, but I don't see it, and I think the movie still works, even if you know how it ends.
It's still masterfully done.
Yes.
It's somebody who's really good at his craft.
Yes.
It's somebody at the top of his game, as they say. It's smart. It's interesting. I used to live near Philadelphia. I like movies that are set there.
Mm-hmm.
I love that season in Philly. It looks beautiful. I think Bruce Willis is excellent.
Everyone in this movie
is so good. He's such a good director.
Haley Joel Osment is so good in this. Like, I know he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. He should have won, but actually he should have been nominated for Best Actor. He's
in every scene.
He's in every scene. Like, seriously, fuck Kevin Spacey in American Beauty. It should have been Haley Joel Osment for The Sixth Sense. He's really good in this, and he breaks my heart. Like I was saying, like the trope of like kids that just have like the weight of the world on them.
Yeah.
Like that they have so much anxiety. They're carrying around something really heavy that always like it hits me in a really soft spot. And like the movie Room did that as well, the one with Brie Larson and Jacob Tremblay. Kids that are dealing with that have special needs, with whatever those needs are, kind of as obviously as a mom now going to hit me in a sensitive spot.
Yeah.
That even then, like, 20-something Sonia, single, no kids, like it still hit me in a soft spot, but now it like really hits me. Like,
right.
This is a kid who, sees dead people, but we don't know for a good half of the movie what is really going on with him. Like,
he's anxious and he's lonely.
Yeah.
And his parents are separated. And his mom is, has 2 or 3 jobs and she's trying to just make it happen. He doesn't have a lot of friends and he's just kind of strange and people don't know how to relate to him.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows he's strange. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know how to make it easier for people. And he really tries.
Yes.
And that's what's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
He's really trying.
He's doing the thing where like he's having that boy pretend that they're friends so that his mom's not worried. That one time he drew a picture that was so disturbing that there was a meeting at his school about it and his mother cried. And he says, now I just draw happy people and rainbows. And then he says, they don't have meetings about rainbows. Like he says, and this is another one that like just hits me now. He says, she doesn't look at me like everyone else and I don't want her to. Like, and he's talking about his mother. Like he doesn't want to burden her.
It's not even just he doesn't want to be different. He doesn't want to hurt her. He doesn't want to burden her. He knows that he can sense how much she's trying to just keep her head over water. And he has so much empathy for her.
Yeah.
And he loves her so much.
It's so sweet. And their relationship is so sweet. And like, when the whole thing, like he comes home from school and she's like, I won the lottery and then I quit my job and I danced in the fountain all day. Like, what did you do? And he's like, I was picked first for kickball and hit the grand slam. And like, it's just so sweet. like they love each other, and you know that she would do anything for him, and she's trying everything she can to help him and connect with him, and he's just keeping this very serious thing away from her and
To protect her.
And
Right.
yeah, and he's like also worried that like she won't believe him, and then their relationship is going to change, and he doesn't want that. It's
heartbreaking.
it is, and he's so good.
Yeah.
He's so like, and you know, we should talk about the beginning. It's Bruce Willis and his gorgeous wife, Olivia
Wow.
Wilde. She's beautiful. And he just got this award from the city for like all of his amazing work, like working as a child psychologist. And their relationship is very sweet. And there, someone breaks into their house, and it's Donnie Wahlberg, again, unrecognizable. Like,
They shave his eyebrows.
yeah, he's
There's-
so
I mean-
skinny.
He's so thin, and I'm like I'm screaming at the TV. Just get out of the house.
Yeah,
Just get out. Like it's because he's trying to talk him down. That's his patient.
yeah,
And yeah, he's so spoilers. He gets shot, and for what we know as the audience, he gets shot, and then we think that he's recovering from that.
yeah. They say like, the next fall or something. They make it sound like he's healed up, and like he's fine, but maybe emotionally he isn't.
Right.
That's what they make it look like.
And so you think that his first new patient in a while is Haley Joel Osment, and that somehow his mother has the money, or maybe it's through the city or something, but that she's hired him to look after her son. And so he can be with him like every day,
Mm-hmm.
and they're walking around the city, and he's following. And it turns out like Haley freaks out everybody. He freaks out his teacher.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to birthday parties, and the kids pick on him, and it's because he can see things. He's very psychic.
Yes.
He can see, and eventually he says, "I see dead people."
Yes.
And he can see when the cats all of a sudden just looked at me like, "What?"
You see them
what?
too?
Is that weird? He can see dead people, and dead people are trying to talk to him,
Mm-hmm.
because if they have something to say to somebody that they're trying to send a message to,
Yes.
which is like when he talks to his mom at the end, I'm just like,
Oh my god.
nowadays I'm a fucking basket case.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time it's so complicated, but
Yeah.
so wonderful. So Bruce Willis, is trying to work with him. Like first is trying to figure out, is this kid crazy?
Yeah, because I would say for the first half of the movie, we don't know. I mean, unless you've seen a trailer for the movie or something, you don't know that he sees dead people, right? So it's Bruce Willis's character's like he has anxiety, like possible mood disorder, like maybe he's got like childhood schizophrenia, like he's trying to figure it out, and like we're not seeing it from Cole's point of view, really. Like we're not seeing the dead people yet. It's not
Yet.
Yeah, until he says to Bruce Willis, "I see dead people." And then the movie, there's like a shift, and then we start to see it from Cole's point of view. We start seeing like the people hanging in the school, and the kid that's walking around his apartment. It's like, "Let me show you where my dad keeps his gun," and like his head's all blown out. It's really creepy. And
He has he made himself like a tent in his room.
yeah.
And I used to do that. Did you ever do
Yeah.
that when you're, yeah. And it says keep out, like you do, you're trying to make a space for yourself.
Yeah.
And then like the ghosts are going after him in the tent.
And he's got his cute puppy.
his puppy. And in the one scene where they're finding him in the tent, that scared the shit out of me in
Oh
the
my
theater.
God. So scary.
But there's one where he is finding clues to a girl that dies very quickly and suddenly. Nobody can figure out how she dies. And she's finding him. And she's
Mhm.
she's giving him clues. and it's a videotape. 99, guys.
Yeah.
And he goes to her funeral with Bruce Willis. He's hanging around with Bruce Willis everywhere.
Yes.
And they go to this funeral, and he gives the father the tape, and then the father sees the tape, and the girl was videotaping her mother, and her mother was poisoning her.
It's so awful. We all know that this is a thing. Like,
yeah, it does happen.
Yeah.
And so I remember in the audience when I saw that, we were like, oh my God. And so then so it's Munchausen syndrome.
Yeah.
And that's where that thing's kind of like sort of ratchet up from there.
Yeah. I want to mention the dad in that scene. I wrote his name down. His name is Greg Wood. He does, that's a little part in this movie. And he's really good in it. Like, it's just a small thing. Like, the dad is he's at the funeral. He's brokenhearted. His daughter has died. And he gets this video and he watches it. And we watch his face as he's seen what happened to his daughter. And, like, it's absolutely heartbreaking. Like, his daughter died, and to learn that your wife, the woman you love, is responsible. He's really good in that. Like, and he's just some small actor. That came out wrong. That made it sound like he's nothing. Like, that's not what I mean. Like, I'm sure he's a working actor who probably works in small parts in movies all the time, but, like, he's really good in that. And I think it's just a thing about this movie is everybody is so good. Even in the smallest parts, like, everyone is really good, and it feels real.
Misha Barton's really good
Yes.
as the sick girl. She's really good. I love the scene with Haley Joel Osment, the little sister.
Yeah.
Where he's comforting her, and he says she wants you to have this doll, and then she says to him, "Is she coming back?" And he says, "No."
And he's such a sweet kid, and the amount of empathy he has,
right,
for everybody. And that scene where he gets invited to a birthday party, and Toni Collette's telling the other mothers, like, he doesn't get invited to a lot of birthday parties. Thanks for inviting us. And those fucking kids, because, by the way, kids can be so mean.
Oh yeah, they can.
They really can be the worst. And they, like, lock him in that little cupboard or whatever, and he's screaming to get out because he's so scared, and she's trying to get in. It's just, And
Toni Collette, we should say, is, she's a Philly mom.
Yeah.
With the nails and the hair and the
so good
clothes.
In this.
She's so realistic and so good. And she's just somebody just trying to do her best every day. She's always so good in everything that she's doing. Their relationship is so believable. You believe them as mother and son.
Yes.
And you believe her when she's doing everything she can to try to figure him out. And it's frustrating because he acts strangely.
Yeah.
And she can't really get to him.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, Olivia Williams. Why do I say Wilde? No, it's Williams. So she, at some point, like, Bruce Willis thinks that, like, she's having an affair on him. She goes out to dinner, and then she's like, and then she pays for the dinner and leaves, like, well, happy anniversary, and leaves. And you think, like, oh God, he's like not showing up in their relationship.
Exactly.
Because he's been injured and he's PTSD and he's been working too much. But here's the twist.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah. She's grieving.
Right. She's mourning. She's not ready. Like, she still misses him.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a guy that, like, is a potential love interest, but she's not there
ready.
yet.
Yeah.
She's not ready. And Haley Joel Osment is kind of like there to kind of show him you're not a human anymore. Like, you're not living.
Yeah, he needs Bruce Willis's character. He needs Malcolm to help him with his problem. And he knows that when he gets to a space that he feels like my problem has been been not solved, because he can still see dead people at the end, but he knows how to live with it and deal with it, is when he finally decides to help the Bruce Willis character and say, you could talk to her while she's sleeping and she will hear you. And that's the where he knows he's not going to see him anymore after that, because he will have helped him at that point.
Yeah.
And like, again, like, I think the movie just works in all these different ways. That it's not just about the twist. It's about those relationships, and the stuff about Toni Collette and Haley Joel Osment obviously is going to hit me differently now than it did single at 29, than now, 52-year-old mom with a autistic son. Like,
Right.
I also like have a son that, acts different than other kids, but I don't ask him to be something he's not. Like, I'm just like, Calvin is Calvin, and we are living our lives, and we go to parties, and I'm just like, Calvin's just doing his Calvin thing, and I support him in that. And you surround yourself with people who fill you up, who support you. And
Right.
She doesn't have those people yet. Like, but maybe now that at the end of the movie, I like to think now that she knows the truth, she knows best how to help him and support him, and that they're going to be okay. I've written a whole fan fiction, basically, ending to this movie where I was like, everything's fine.
Yeah, well, no, he'll find his people, and they'll have, other kids who are psychic. So they'll have moms and dads that she can hang out with.
Right.
And maybe they'll have something in common. I mean, I think so too.
Yeah. And I mean, love maybe
he'll play the numbers or something, maybe they'll make some money off this shit.
Exactly. Yeah, he gets a show on Bravo.
Yeah.
I love that he stars in the play at the end, and the actor kid that's such a prick plays the village idiot. Like, that just made me laugh. So I had forgotten, because it's such a little moment, but like, Haley Joel Osment's character Cole has the lead role. He's King Arthur, he gets to pull the sword from the stone. And the actor kid, who's so shitty to him through the whole movie, has like one line, and they're like, "Silence, village idiot."
I missed that.
And it just made me laugh. I was like, ha ha, you're the village idiot. Because he thinks he thinks he's special. He thinks he's special because he was in like a local cough commercial or something. It's just a funny little moment in a movie that doesn't have a lot of laughs for obvious reasons, because it's not hilarious that he sees dead people. Like, it's not funny. It's dark and sad.
Yeah.
But
it's satisfying.
It is. And that's the scene at the end where he finally tells his mom, like, I'm ready to communicate with you. It's such a grown up thing for him to say, but he heard it from Bruce Willis. So he's, repeating it. But, that's like the whole thing. Like, I talk to grandma sometimes, and she's proud of you every day. And like, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, she starts crying, and they hug, and like, their relationship is so sweet. And Toni Collette should have won the Oscar too, by the way. She was nominated for Best Supporting Actress, and I'm like, Angelina Jolie won for Girl Interrupted, and I was like, it should have been Toni Collette.
Girl Interrupted is such a showy part too.
It sure is.
I mean, she's great in that movie, let's be clear, but
yeah. Basically, I'm just like, nominate Toni Collette, you cowards.
We'll be talking about that in another movie this month too.
Yes, we will. She's the fucking best. That's all.
She is.
We love her. This is now a Toni Collette fan podcast.
Yes, it is.
I asked you to like to do this movie because I was just kind of itching to rewatch it, and I'm just so glad I rewatched it.
No, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you picked it. I think it's a perfect also. It's a perfect autumn movie.
Yes.
It's a perfect one to watch this time of year. It's creepy, but it has some it has a lot of heart to it.
Yes.
It's sad, but it has a lot of heart to it.
Yeah, and it just
has a lot to say.
It has a lot to say about trauma and also just
loving people.
And yes, and when to let go and when to be honest. And I can't help but see this movie now through my like mom eyes and see what just how to raise a child that's different than other kids. And I don't mean different in a bad way. I mean special. Like and the truth is we all have our things.
Yeah.
We all have our things, and it's like we all have, you could think of it as a superpower. You could think of it as, we all have our traumas. We all have our emotional liability. I can't think of a better word, but like we all have it, and we're all navigating life together. And it's like, just how do we make it work? And I think this movie for me is hitting me in a really sensitive spot.
I can tell.
Yeah, because I relate to the Toni Collette character so much, because she's really trying, and she's sad and confused and frustrated, and she's at one point she's hugging him and she's like, what's wrong? Like, just please tell me, and it's because you want to help so bad, but you don't know what to do. And he couldn't, he has the best mom who's you can tell, like, she's someone who will kick people's asses for him. And that's what you need.
I love the scene where she's like going to the party and she's trying to fit in with the other moms, and she's wearing the wrong outfit compared to them.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of snobs. And she's like, oh, normally we go to Chuck E. Cheese. And they're like, what's a Chuck E. Cheese? I'm like, oh, fuck off.
Well, so that's
snob, Upper Marion snobs.
So that's the other thing. I think a lot of parents of children that are, have special needs or different in any way, you will find that like sometimes you're like the odd person out at these functions. Like I've definitely gone to parties with Calvin, and I find it hard to interact with other people because I can't relate to them. Just like Calvin can't relate to their kids.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're both like, this is peace out, bye. Like, it's like we both want to leave. Like, let's get out of here and go home and watch train videos. Fuck this. Like, that's a thing. It's a thing. I just relate to her character so much in this, and I love that she will fight for him. I love that she challenges the doctor, played by M. Night Shyamalan, when he confronts her about like the bruises and stuff on Cole, because the ghosts are doing this, by the way, not her. She will obviously fight for him, and I love that about her. She's a really strong character, and she's beautiful. She looks so gorgeous. I love her like makeup and her nails and her outfits. I think she looks great.
She's awesome.
Yeah. I read that Marissa Tomei was considered for that role, and I was like, she probably would have been really good too, by the way. But I love me some Toni Collette. And I also read that Michael Cera auditioned for Cole, and I was like, he doesn't seem right for that part.
George Michael?
Yes, George Michael from Arrested Development doesn't seem right to me for that role.
No.
I think they hit the jackpot with Haley Joel Osment. I think he's so great. Do you think this is M. Night Shyamalan's best movie?
It's my favorite, which I know is a cheesy thing to say because everybody says that, and everybody always wants to say, actually, I like Unbreakable, or I like The Village, or they want to be contrarian,
Mhm.
but I like this one the best.
Me too. Me
It's
too.
the best acted. It's a fully thought out film. It's a well done script. It's believable.
hmm
Even though it's insane, it's believable.
Yeah. Well, it feels based in reality.
It's grounded.
That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. You're very smart.
Yeah, versus, Marky Mark going, it's the trees.
Look, I think Unbreakable is very good too. I really do. But if you put The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable side by side for me, I'll pick The Sixth Sense every time. The Sixth Sense is my favorite. Does that make me a basic bitch? Maybe. But I'm fine
Sure.
with that.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. There are parts of Signs. I think Signs is pretty good.
I like Signs too. I'm a defender of Signs.
I liked The Village up until a point.
Yeah.
But then after that you get Lady in the Water. I'm like, no. The Happening, no. The Visit, no. Split, Glass. I don't care for any of those. So, but look, other people love those movies. Every movie has a fan, right? I think Patrick Bromley says that every movie is someone's favorite movie. I'm like, they all have their fans, but I'm a Sixth Sense fan. So I wrote down some of the other Oscar nominated movies and performances the same year as Sixth Sense. Would you like to hear them?
Of course I would.
Okay, so Haley Joel Osment was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Do you remember who won that year?
No.
Okay. The other nominees were Jude Law for The Talented Mr. Ripley,
He's good in that.
Michael Clark Duncan for The Green Mile.
He's really good in that.
Yep. Tom Cruise for Magnolia.
He's good in that. It's a good year.
Yeah, and then Michael Caine for The Cider House Rules.
He's good in that. That's a really strong category, I have to say.
It really is. I'd go Haley Joel Osment, but
he's the lead and he holds the
exactly
whole fucking picture. If you don't believe him,
yes,
the movie doesn't work.
Yes. So he should have been nominated for Best Actor. Kevin Spacey won for American Beauty for Best Actor. Fuck Kevin Spacey and fuck that movie.
We talked about it
yeah,
before,
we did.
by the way. You can find it in our catalog. But yeah, it's overrated as far as we're concerned.
Other people who were nominated for Best Actor were Russell Crowe for The Insider.
He's good in that.
He's really good in that. Richard Farnsworth for The Straight Story. I'm like, sure.
Yeah, that's actually a good movie. It's sad.
Yeah. Sean Penn for Sweet and Lowdown.
I never saw it.
Nor should you. It's a Woody Allen movie. Fuck Sean Penn and fuck Woody Allen. And then the other one is Denzel Washington for The Hurricane.
I never saw that movie.
Yeah, I'm sure he's good in it. But see, it could have been Haley Joel Osment for Best Actor. That's all. Maybe I'm just such a fangirl. So Best Supporting Actress, Toni Collette was nominated. I already mentioned Angelina Jolie won. So the other ones were Catherine Keener for being John Malkovich.
She's great in that.
She is. Samantha Morton for Sweet and Lowdown.
Never saw it.
No offense to Samantha Morton, but fuck that movie. And then Chloe Sevigny. Yeah, for Boys Don't Cry. And she is really good in that.
These are really strong performances.
Yeah. The Sixth Sense was also nominated for Best Picture, along with The Insider, which is a good movie. The Green Mile.
Good movie.
Good movie. The Cider House Rules.
Good movie.
Yeah. And then the winner was American Beauty.
Which I remember, God, I did see that movie and thinking it was good at the time, only because I think we were just kind of brainwashed into thinking it was. Yeah. It was one of those movies, like, it was in theaters for months, right?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I remember, it was a big deal.
And it was cool to like Kevin Spacey, too, by the way. We didn't know the truth about that dude.
He's on trial right now, by the way, for sexual assault.
And we did an episode on him for What a Creep, if you want to go and listen to all of that. By the way, not nominated, being John Malkovich, which is
a great movie.
A really great movie, not nominated for Best Picture. But Spike Jonze was nominated for Best Director. M. Night Shyamalan was also nominated. And then Michael Mann for The Insider. Lasse Hallström, I think is how you pronounce it, The Cider House Rules. And then the winner was Sam Mendes for American Beauty. Fuck that movie.
And that paper bag or that plastic bag or whatever bag that was.
Sometimes there's just so much beauty in the world. He's watching the fucking plastic bag blowing. That's what I think of it. So The Sixth Sense, last one, Sixth Sense was also nominated for Best Screenplay. The other ones were Topsy Turvy. Did you see that?
Never saw it.
Magnolia.
Yep.
I'm like, and then Being John Malkovich.
Which is a weird movie.
It's such a weird movie. I mean, but it's well done. It's great. Yeah, and then the winner was American Beauty.
Yeah, that it's every once in a while. There's just a movie that just takes over everything.
Yeah,
is that a Miramax film or?
You know what? I think it is.
Yeah,
I think it is. Yeah,
they kind of did a snow job.
Yeah, we did American Beauty. And we also did Crash. Crash was another one of those movies where it won a lot of random things, and you're like, really? Like that's the thing that fucking wins? But just a reminder, the Oscars are bullshit.
It's something like everybody thinks is like the greatest thing ever, and then like a few years out, you look at it and you're like, this was the best.
Yes.
And you can't even sit through it for like 10 minutes.
What was a couple years? Well, actually, it's more than a couple years ago. I'm thinking it was probably 2007. It was like Syriana, Babel, like all these movies that were like Traffic ripoff. Like, and I'm like, I wouldn't watch those movies now. Those are not rewatchable. I guess for me, like, I don't think movies are great unless I can rewatch them, which I don't know, maybe that's not a great way to think about things, but like I would rewatch Being John Malkovich. I would rewatch Magnolia. I would rewatch The Sixth Sense. I don't want to ever watch American Beauty ever again.
Never.
No.
Or what's the one I was just thinking of? The Angelina Jolie movie.
Oh, Girl Interrupted.
Yeah, it's a bummer, man. Yeah. Do you want to hear about the top songs?
Yes.
Okay, so this was August 7th, 1999. That's when this movie came out. God, this is so 1999. LFO, number 10. Summer Girls.
Yes, that is so 99.
So that was number 10. Number 9, 702, Where My Girls At?
I don't even know if I know.
I don't even know what that is.
I might know it if I heard it.
This is one of my favorite songs of all time. Number 8, Backstreet Boys, I Want It That Way.
That's a really dope pop song.
That is a solid song.
If people want to shit on it, they're lying to themselves. They are.
Number 7, Smash Mouth All Star.
You couldn't get away from that song.
You still can't get away from that fucking song.
Correct.
This one also, it boggles my fucking mind. And this is one of my favorite bands, Pearl Jam. Mm-hmm. Last Kiss. What?
I don't even
know. Where can my baby be?
Oh, that's right. Okay, thank you.
It's excruciating. Jennifer Lopez, If You Had My Love.
I was all in on the Jennifer Lopez singing.
Yeah. Will Smith featuring Drew Hill and Kool Moe Dee, Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
Wild Wild West.
He turned down The Matrix for this, by the way. Remember that?
That movie was an epic bomb.
Number 3, Casey and JoJo, Tell Me It's Real.
Yes.
Number 2, Destiny's Child, Bills, Bills, Bills.
So good.
Yep.
I love Destiny's Child.
And this is an awesome song. Number one song, Christina Aguilera, Genie in a Bottle.
Oh, that you couldn't get away from that one either. It was everywhere.
And that's a good song.
She's a really good singer.
She is.
Yes. What else are you dorking out about, my friend?
Last weekend, a place where they're selling my book, Sonia.
What? You wrote a book?
I did.
Her book is out, y'all. Filmed in Brooklyn. Get yours.
Get yours. I was at Books Are Magic. I just signed a bunch of copies there. Not a bunch, like 10. But when I was there, I got a signed copy. It's Charles Learshin. I think he's in my neighborhood, but he wrote a book called Down and Out in Paradise, The Life of Anthony Bourdain.
Oh, uh-huh.
And it's been getting a lot of press, a lot of attention. I read it very quickly. You know, I tend to read very fast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely go through it again. I think this is probably a really honest portrait of him.
Interesting. Okay.
I think this is somebody, like a person that really struggled with fame and having everything given to him when he did not have the tools to manage it. Like, this is somebody who, he had a very good upbringing and childhood and parents and all that stuff, but he was somebody who was very, he and his wife were people that like always spent too much money than they had, and always had like, you know, high credit card bills, and if they could afford credit cards, they had them cut all the time. Like, he was somebody who was really kind of reckless in that way. And then he was, you know, he was always chefs at all these restaurants. And then he became somebody really rich and really famous and could do whatever he wanted, and sort of rebuilt himself as this middle-aged rock and roll writer, TV personality, and dad and husband.
Yeah.
And he was an addict. And he never really went to therapy. He never really dealt with his issues, I think. And it's, you know, it's kind of a downer for sure. If you don't want to know kind of the downer parts of his life. Yeah. But it's a really interesting read, and I read it very quickly, and I'm really glad I have a signed copy. So if you're in Brooklyn, get a copy there.
All right.
I really liked it. I'm enjoying Meghan Markle's podcast, Archetypes.
Oh, yeah, that's on my list.
It's really, really excellent. I've been just enjoying the shit out of that. I also enjoy another book I got when I was at the bookstore. It's Stuff They Don't Want You to Know, which I might use something here for What a Creep.
Oh.
And it's from a podcast, Stuff They Don't Want You to Know. And it's a lot of conspiracy shit.
Yeah.
But truth, like they get to kind of the truth of things. And I'm really enjoying learning that.
Nice.
And like what's the origin of fake news? What's the origin of the Vietnam War?
Okay.
What is the origin? So anyway, I've been just really flipping through that and enjoying it. And then if I seem a little, I was telling Sonia, I'm a little off my game today. You probably don't hear it, but she knows. I was up till 2:30 in the morning on Twitter watching the hashtag BravoCon, because they're having BravoCon in New York City, and Kathy Hilton came to BravoCon, and Lisa Rinna, boy, is she in trouble. Because
what did she do?
So they're warring right now, and Lisa Rinna shows up for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills panel, and she's widely booed by the audience. Not completely, right? But Kathy, who didn't go to that panel, because she's like, fuck that, I'll do my own thing, thank you.
She has no fucks.
No, gives no fucks.
Yeah.
She just had her own autograph session. It's at the Javits. I don't know if you've ever been to the Javits Center in New York City. It's massive. And she had thousands of people wait in line to take her autograph, or to get her autograph and take her picture.
Wow.
She had people chanting her name, and it's like the line was like a mile long.
Oh my gosh.
And people are like, they made fun of her on the show for wearing slippers, because she likes to be comfortable when she's traveling. It's so stupid. Like the show is very
super-
shallow and stupid.
It's very stupid. I'm wearing slippers right now.
I wear slippers all day because I work from home because I'm not an idiot. Like I'm not going to ruin my feet
Right.
if I'm going to work from home. God damn it. So anyway, people in the crowd are wearing slippers and showing their slippers to Kathy. Like the shade game is like beyond. And then like they were making fun of her because she had a meltdown at a club because they wouldn't let her do like a conga line. She wanted to do a conga line and nobody would do a conga line with her because they said that was dopey and stupid.
I don't know.
And so-
Sounds like fun to me.
Yeah, right. So then one of the sponsors had a party just for Kathy and they had a conga line and it was filled with reality housewives. None from Beverly Hills, all from the other shows. And they did a conga line, including
hilarious.
Whitney from Salt Lake City.
Nice.
So
Nice.
anyway, I'm just watching all the panels from the shows and I'm like till 2:30 in the morning like a goddamn loser. Like just-
You're not a loser. You love those shows. And
I love those shows. So it was really, really fun. But just to see like, because Lisa Rinna's trying to get Kathy fired and canceled and whatever, you know, like she attacks her on social media all the time. And Kathy doesn't know social media. She's like in her 60s
Yeah.
and really fucking rich and just, you know.
It doesn't sound like it's working. It sounds like
No, like I'm seriously, people are chanting her name at the Javits Center. That's where they hold the Comic-Cons.
oh my
And
gosh.
every trade show in New York. Like that's how many people are showing up for her.
Oh, Lisa Rinna.
Right, Rinna? Fuck you.
Fuck Lisa Rinna.
Right. That's what everyone should say. And Salt Lake City is fucking ridiculous.
So
so much fun.
ridiculous. Were they at the BravoCon
Yep.
too?
Oh, they're there too.
Yeah. Any juicy stuff coming out of it?
Not yet, but Jen Shaw is there and partying with everybody. And I think because she's the one that was convicted of fraud
Yes.
and is going to be sentenced this December, which is a federal crime.
Yeah.
Like she's going to be sentenced to many years in prison.
I mean,
So-
I assume she's going to get jail time for that. Yeah. So
Oh yeah, I mean at least a dozen years.
I guess party
think
up, girl, because
that's what I'm thinking too. I think this is her last hurrah.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just gonna. So yeah, I've been following her on, and I would just like the same thing. And then there's housewives that show up that don't even have a show anymore.
Yeah.
But they just show up all dressed up and just sign autographs for people, and people still like, yeah, you know.
Yes.
But also then there's a part of it, and I'm also reading that, you know, next winter there's like if you get your flu shots, y'all,
Yeah.
get a flu shot because it's going around. And I see all these people and they're not wearing masks and stuff. And so that's just me being weird, I guess. But
You're not being weird. There's still an actual pandemic going on. We've all just decided to pretend like it's not happening.
right. I'm getting my second shot this Monday.
Good for you.
And Sonia's coming out the following week.
And I'm all vaxxed and boosted and ready.
She's vaxxed and boosted and ready. So you're going to see pictures of us together
Yeah.
in a room.
Yep.
Do a conga. Maybe we'll do a conga line.
That's a great idea.
I would do one with you.
Yeah. Calvin and I are coming out. We're going to ride
Yep.
the subways.
We're going to go to Coney Island.
Yep. We're going to do all kinds of fun stuff. I can't wait.
Yeah.
We are, I wanted to mention that I watched Halloween Ends, so you don't have to.
Yeah. Kyle Richards, another Richards sister.
Yes, I watched it. It's streaming on Peacock right now, and you could see it in theaters, but I wouldn't recommend it. Look, I really like the Halloween movies, so I don't want anyone here to think that, like, I just don't like Halloween movies. I really do. I really, really didn't like this one. I didn't like Halloween Kills either, which is the one that came out like 2 years ago, I think. Or
Yeah.
last year.
I didn't like it either.
I thought it was mean, and nasty, and not fun for me.
Yeah. Lenny Clark was in that. Remember?
Yeah.
He was spoiler, he was killed off in the first 2 minutes. Like you get somebody as funny as him and
Yeah.
you just stab him for like no reason except just to stab him. It's like you said, it was very mean spirited. It
Yes.
didn't have any humor to it.
No, I just didn't like it. And this one also is a little mean, and I mean, I guess it is. It's trying some different things, and maybe some people. I'm sure it's going to have its fans. Like, once again, like every movie has its fans. This one did not work for me. I thought it, like, no one behaves like a normal human. They only behave like the way they would because it's a horror movie. They behave like horror movie characters, basically. I was annoyed by most of the people. The movie felt really long. It felt like it forgot it was a slasher movie, and there's hardly any, like, killing in it. Not that a movie, you know, that's the kind of movie Halloween is. It's a slasher movie, and there's, like, hardly any kills in it for, like, a majority of the movie. It's a very strange movie, and people are comparing it to Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Which,
oh, that's a terrible one.
See, I actually like that one, but it's like, it's a standalone Halloween movie. Like, it's not connected to any of the other ones, and it doesn't have anything to do with Michael Myers. This one does have Michael Myers in it. It has characters from all the other movies in it. It is not like Halloween 3. It is not. I don't understand the comparison. It's just, it's fucking boring. It's boring and stupid and obnoxious and, like, really fucking serious about weird things that have nothing to do with anything. I just didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
Tell me what you think, Sonia. Should I see it or should I not see it? Okay.
No. And I liked the 2018 Halloween. The one with, well, I mean, they all have Jamie Lee Curtis, the 3 new ones. I liked the first one a lot. I thought it was really good, and it's had a lot to say about what trauma does to us.
That's all they talk about now, though. That's all she talks about in interviews, too.
Yeah. And this
about trauma.
Yeah, and the third one is also leaning in on that, and maybe the reason I dislike the movie so much is there's this really good idea in here about trauma bonding and, like, connecting with other people who have trauma and, like, almost like feeding off each other's trauma. And I'm like, what a good idea. Like, but the movie does it in, like, such a fucked up way. It's just poorly written. It doesn't make any sense to me. I just, yeah, no. I give it a thumbs down. If you're looking for something really good to watch, I finished Bad Sisters on Apple TV.
I'm in the middle of that, so don't tell me how it ends.
I'm not going to say, no spoilers. It's really good. Like,
yeah, I've been really enjoying that.
Yeah, it's like, it's dark and funny and, like, it's twisty.
I love Eve Hewson, who's Bono's daughter.
Oh, is that, she's playing Becca?
Yeah.
She's really good. Everyone's really good in it.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
Sharon Horgan.
Yeah. It gets it's frustrating, but it in certain spots, but it's supposed to be. Like,
he's an asshole.
Because he's because the dude, the guy they call the prick, he's such a fucking prick. You hate him. Like,
he's awful. He's fucking awful.
Yeah. That actor's really good at playing someone who's really awful. So, like, you're frustrated at certain points because you're like, ugh, he's here again. Like, you hate him. That's why it's frustrating. It's really, really good. It's on Apple TV. And, well, we already talked about Housewives, so maybe I'll just end it on Bad Sisters. Where can people find you on the internet, Margo?
You can find me at Brooklyn Fitchick on Twitter and Instagram. My site is brooklynfitchick.com, and I'm at Margo Donahue on the TikTok. And once again, the title of my book is Filmed in Brooklyn.
You can get it wherever you want to get your books.
Wherever books are sold, y'all.
Yeah, mine is coming. I can't wait. And then I'm going to see you in person, and I'm going to hug you awkwardly long. Prepare yourself. You can find me at thesoniashow.com and The Sonia Show on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. And if you like dorking out, Please leave us a review wherever you listen to your show. It helps us find our people. You can email us at dorkingoutShow@gmail.com. We take requests. We have gotten a request I think they said every quarter they ask us for ruthless people. We put it on the list.
I'm a big fan of ruthless people, so we will get to it.
We will.
Sure.
So it is on the list for November.
I even know the song. Stand up, ruthless people.
Ruthless people. And if you like the sound of our voices, we also co-host a podcast called What a Creep. You can go to whatacreeppodcast.com. We talk about creeps, and every episode we end it with someone who's not a creep. So join us there. Margo, thank you for talking about The Sixth Sense with me. I am so glad that you were down to revisit, even though you already knew the twist.
Wait a minute, there's a twist?
He sees dead people.